You're not broken, you're just bending. Water running like a timeline that has trouble ending. You're not weak, you're just tired. And the steam isn't shame, it's the heat you required. I see you hunched over, head to tile, and I wanna say you're allowed to feel fragile. Why? I wrote this one for the me who's crying in the shower, for every drop sponge, every trembling hour. You're not alone, even here, even soaked, even curled. I wrote this one for the me who's still learning to hold the world. You sang once, remember, not loud, but with grace. Now you hum through tears that don't ask for space. I don't want you to fake it or force something brave. Just breathe like you're building a new kind of cave. This song won't fix things, but it might sit beside the version of you that forgot how to write. I wrote this one for the me who's still crying in the steam. You're still whole and you're breaking, still soft in the mean. One day you'll laugh at this, or at least feel seen. I wrote this for the me who forgot she's worth being. I wrote this one for the me who's still learning to hold the world. You said all the right things, but never looked me in the eyes. You smiled like a promise, but wore too many lies. I thought I knew your heartbeat before I knew your name, but love built out of guessing is a dangerous game. You were poetry in theory, but silence in the flesh. I built a future from your glances. Now I'm lost in all the mesh. I love the idea of you more than you. If I'm true, I traced a shadow of a person and swore I saw it through. You never said forever, but I heard it in your tune. I love the idea of you like I don't cry on your birthday, but I still count the days. I laugh with someone new now, but I feel you in the ghost. I'm over you almost. I should have told you I was scared, not played it cool and thin. I wore armor stitched from silence and let the cracks begin. I should have said you made me feel like light behind a tree, but I swallowed every sentence and left you guessing me. I thought I had forever to say the quiet things, but now you're in a story where I don't write the strings. All the things I never said out loud are echoing like prayer. But please don't go, that you were homely, I'll always meet you there. I wrapped them up in caution, afraid they'd make you frown. But all the things I never said out loud are the ones that pulled me down. I wrote a list of what ifs and folded it in two, buried it with photos of what I couldn't do. I should have told you I was soft, not pretend I didn't care. But silence grows like ivy and chokes the open air. I see you in the supermarket buying someone else's wine, and all the things I didn't say start bleeding into spine. All the things I never said out loud are louder now than rain. I wonder if you'd turn around if I had just explained that love was not my language, but you were fluent still. All the things I never said out loud are the ones I always will. I've drawn diagrams of feelings, left maps on coffee lids. Said this hurts 100 ways, still you ask what I did. I paint in full emotions and you squint like it's unclear. I give you all the details, but still you won't come near. I'm tired of decoding for someone who won't see how much it costs to show you the small inside of me. I'm tired of explaining my heart like it's a puzzle on the floor. You want the picture perfect, but ignore what came before. I'm not a project to complete or code that needs a chart. I'm just a quiet beating that's tired of explaining this heart. I've written letters in my spine, spoken songs and blinking eyes, and every pause I give you is a sentence in disguise. Every year, same day, at 3:17 it starts. The way the light hits my window, the skip inside my heart. You once left a voicemail that played at this exact time. And though I lost the message, I still hear every line. You don't return my letters or even cross my feed, but time's got this precision when it knows just where to bleed. At 3:17, every year I feel it land. The ghost of your goodbye, still holding out its hand. No calendar can warn me, no ritual or gear. At 3:17 I lose you every single year. La 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 la. You wore that brown no and smiled like a dare. We met, we broke, we vanished, but that moment still hangs there. No fireworks or kisses, just a final glance in blue. And every August afternoon, it all comes rushing through. I wish it didn't matter that time had moved us on, but clocks remember differently than people who are gone. At 3:17, the sky forgets to breathe, and I remember leaving like I never could believe. You're frozen in that hour where everything was clear. At 3:17, I still lose you every single year. La 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 I watch you from the edges of stories you don't know, cheering from the sidelines while I learn to let it go. You talk about your weekend with a glow I can't resist, and I try to sound collected while hiding every twist. I don't expect you to notice or change the way you move, but my heart still keeps its rhythm in the spaces near your truth. Even if you never loved me, I'm still glad you're in the light. I'll hold you in my silence, like a star just out of sight. You don't owe me a moment, or maybe I can see. I'll keep you in my kindness, even if you never loved me. I bring you little comforts, and you thank me with a smile, but you don't feel the tremble that I've hidden all this while. You ask me for advice, and I always give it true, but sometimes I wonder if you know what I've been through. You deserve a love that finds you in the way you always dreamed, and even if it's not me, I'll still believe in what it means. stay a gentle shade, not to haunt your story, but to honor what we made. They say God hold is quiet, but it lives eternally, and I'll never wish you less, even if you never love me. I don't wear that sweater now, the one you said was me. I've cut my hair, I speak out loud, and I finally let things be. I don't laugh to fill the silence or shrink when others speak. I learned how to sit in stillness without calling it weak. You knew the me who softened to keep your comfort warm, but I've outgrown that echo and stepped out of the storm. Goodbye to the me you knew, the version built for you. She whispered in your rhythm, but never quite broke through. I've gathered up my edges and stitched them into truth. So here's goodbye, not bitter, just a brighter kind of proof. You liked me in the background, safe and barely seen. I smiled on cue, I bent on time, I dimmed to keep things clean. But now I dance off measure and sing with crooked sound. I found a kind of freedom that you never stuck around. You weren't cruel, just careless, and I was scared to say, but silence grows like ivy till it takes the light away. Goodbye to the me you knew. She lived beneath your plan. Now walk my own direction and bloom without demand. You'll always know a chapter, but not this whole debut. Goodbye to the me you loved, but never fully knew. I was just a shadow walking home through tired streets. No one saw the heaviness tied up in my feet. Then you looked up from your coffee and smiled like you knew that I was barely holding on, and that smile pulled me through. You never asked me questions or gave me grand advice, but you gave me something golden in a world that felt like ice. Your smile saved me like sunlight in the rain, a tiny fleeting kindness that softened all my pain. You'll never know the moment or how deep that grace could I'll think about that morning, how you hummed a quiet tune. I sat one table over, breathing life back into June. And while the world kept spinning, you changed my orbit line by just existing brightly for 1 second out of time. We never even spoke, and that's what makes it true. You saved me without knowing what I was walking through. Your smile saved me without effort, without plan. You held a broken stranger without even reaching hands. Sunlight shine without notice, but they still set people free. And I kept on living because your smile saw me. Your smile saved me like sunlight in the rain, a tiny fleeting kindness that softened all my pain. You'll never know the moment or how deep that grace could be, but I made it through that evening 'cause your smile saw me. I loved you like a sunrise that never made a sound. In passing glances, folded notes, and footsteps on soft ground. You never saw the letters I never dared to send, and I stood there in your shadows, calling myself a friend. You told me all your secrets, but never asked for mine, and I gave without a reason or a single dotted line. I loved you quietly, like a song beneath the waves, like a bloom that never opened, but still found ways to stay. You didn't know me anything, but I gave you all of me. I loved you in the silence, so silently you didn't see. I held your broken pieces and never asked you why. Watched you fall for others with a soft and aching sigh. You'd laugh about your lovers and I'd laugh along in time, but every word felt heavier as I swallowed every line. You never meant to hurt me, but the ache still stayed in place, because loving from the sidelines still carves its own kind of space. I loved you quietly, in moments you'd forget, in rides home through the city where I never placed a bet. You never knew the chapters I wrote behind your glee. I loved you in the silence, too quietly to see. Too quietly to see. I loved you quietly. I loved you quietly. I loved you quietly. Too quietly to see. You never said goodbye, you never walked away, but something in your posture always looked like it might stray. You smiled through the mornings, but your eyes were somewhere else. And I learned how to swallow all the questions to myself. You stayed in every photo, but disappeared in sound. I slept beside your body while your heart was not around. Even when you stayed, I was still alone. You held my hand politely, like a stone, like a loan. You said the right things nightly, but the warmth had gone astray. You were here in body, but you left me anyway. You helped me wash the dishes, asked about the news, but never once remembered what I tried not to lose. You said we're doing fine, and I nodded through the fog. But every night beside you felt colder than the log. It's not just when they leave that someone makes you ache. It's how they start to vanish with every breath they fake. Even when you stayed, the silence did its work. It carved out all the comfort and left a hollow murk. You were never cruel or violent, but your love began to sway. Even when you stayed, you slowly walked away. There's a version of me on the porch, wearing sweaters I outgrew, sitting cross-legged in silence, like they still believe it's true. They don't know what's coming, the years I almost broke, and I can't bring myself to give them that smoke. But they knock on my thoughts like wind on old glass and ask, are we okay? Like I didn't let that pass. Talking to me through the window, two timelines face to face. One built from hopes and notebooks, one scarred but full of grace. I wanna tell them everything, but they wouldn't understand. So I just press my palm to glass and let them see I stand. They're still waiting for the letter that never comes in time. They still think they can fix it with a joke or clever rhyme. I wanna say you'll cry a lot, you'll lose and then you'll gain. But mostly I just whisper, it's okay to feel that pain. We stare for half So I just press my palm to glass and let them see I stand. The bed felt wide this morning, but not in a hollow way. I stretched into the silence and let the sun just stay. Your name didn't echo like it did the weeks before. I didn't miss your coffee or wait beside the door. There's no grand epiphany, just breath that feels like mine, and a kind of gentle knowing that I'm gonna be fine. I woke up okay, no tears caught in my chest. The memories still flicker, but don't steal away my rest. It's not about forgetting or forcing pain to sway. I just opened up my eyes and somehow I felt okay. I cleaned the counter slowly, played records just for me, lit candles that I used to hide when we were weak. I even laughed at something with no one there to hear, and didn't feel the loneliness that used to hover near. Healing comes in stillness, not fireworks or sound, just walking through the ruins and learning solid ground. I woke up okay and meant it when I smiled. The world still holds your shadow, but it's lighter by a mile. I didn't need a closure or a grand dramatic play. suitcase or slam the front door shut. You left in smaller moments, in pauses then a cut. You stopped asking about my day but still said sleep well. You sat beside me every night but drifted like a shell. I didn't see it clearly, but now it makes more sense. People don't leave all at once, they leave in present tense. People don't leave all at once, they fade out of your hands. They turn from full conversations into one-word strands. They laugh less at your stories, they close the blinds at dusk. People don't leave with thunder, they leave with quiet rust. You kissed me with routine, not the way it used to spark. You showed up out of habit, then disappeared in dark. The clothes stayed in the closet, but your warmth left the bed. And all your favorite records started playing in my head. No breakup song, no warning, just soft invisible dents. You were still here but barely in fragments. People don't leave all at once, they echo out of view. They go without direction, but leave their shape with you. You think they're still beside you, but the pieces are dispersed. People don't leave with endings, they leave in If I could hear you say my name just once more, not even loud. If I could feel your shoulder in a sleepy movie crowd. If I could hear you laugh again at something dumb I'd say. If time allowed a rerun of just one simple day, I wouldn't need a second chance or rewrite every page. I'd take the quiet moment over grander stage. One more time would have been enough. One last walk under the sun. No fireworks or confessions, just a breath and we'd be done. I don't want forever, I don't need the perfect bluff. Just one more time with you would have been enough. We didn't get the ending or the closure stories need, but I still feel your shadow where the ivy meets the sea. You said someday we'll laugh at this, but someday never came. And I keep holding on to that half-forgotten name. I don't wanna haunt you or bring the past back near. I just want one version where you're still here. One more time would have been enough to close the book with care, to say goodbye in quiet instead of midair. Even if it ended like a whisper through the rough, just one more time would have been enough. I sleep through every morning, don't check my phone for you. I stop replaying messages like they still meant something true. I eat at our old places and order something new. I don't stare at the door like I used to do. They say that's moving forward, and I guess they might be right. But some days still arrive without enough light. I'm better now, but I still miss you. Not like before, it's calm, like the aching and old injury that hums when skies are gone. I don't cry like I used to, but your name still feels like glue. I'm better now, I promise. But yeah, I miss you too. I don't keep all your letters, but I saved the one in green, the one where you said maybe and left the space between. I tell myself you're happy and mean it when I do, but part of me still wonders if you ever miss me too. It's not that I'm still hurting, it's just you mattered then, and love doesn't disappear, it just softens when it ends. I'm better now, but I still miss you on random Tuesday nights, when a stranger wears your jacket or a song gets all the lights. I've grown in ways you'll never know, but some ghosts still feel like glue. I'm better now, but yeah, I miss you too. showed up in my dream again, hair wet from the rain. You smile like it was yesterday, like nothing's changed or strange. We walked a street I didn't know, but your hand fit like it should. You told me all the things you'd never say when we were good. I woke up slow and hollow, like my chest forgot to fill. It wasn't pain, just absence that memory tried to kill. I keep dreaming you back, like my brain won't let you go. You visit me in silence where the waking doesn't know. You never say you're sorry, but you look at me just right. I keep dreaming you back and missing you each night. You wore that same old sweater, the one you always liked, and we sat beneath a willow where your voice felt like a kite. We didn't speak of leaving or how things fell apart. You just placed your head on mine like a bookmark on my heart. You never stayed for morning, just the hour before I wake. And each time I reach for you, it's only air I take. I keep dreaming you back in rooms that don't exist. You always say the right things, then leave me with a twist. I know it's not you truly, but some part of you reacts. I keep dreaming you back and reality retracts. I made tea for just myself and didn't miss your cup. Played a record in the sunlight and left the curtains up. I talked to plants this morning and danced around the sink. It's funny how the silence gives you time to really think. You used to fill the space with laughter and with doubt, but now the quiet sings without the need to shout. I'm not lonely anymore, just alone and feeling whole. I don't need a second shadow to validate my soul. I found my own reflection in the creaks of my old floor. You were part of me, but I'm not lonely anymore. I light candles just for pleasure, not to soften any ache. I bake bread and hum a rhythm that's not for someone's sake. I still remember Sundays when we never leave the bed, but I've learned to love the morning with my own hand on my head. It doesn't mean I hate you or wish for something new. I've just become a person I don't need to prove to you. I'm not lonely anymore, though the room still holds your name. I sit in my own sunlight without playing your old game. There's joy in empty spaces and peace I can't ignore. You used to be my quiet, now I'm not lonely anymore. face. You smiled like someone else did, back in a different place. You said let's take it slowly. I laughed like I was new, but every word you whispered was deja vu in blue. I keep falling for the echoes, not the voices they pretend. I keep dancing in the reruns that always miss the end. Same song, different ending, but the chords still sting. I hear the verse, I hum along, then crash in the same ring. You were softer, more aware, but I still broke defending. Same song, different face, same story, different ending. You said you liked my poems, so did the last one too. I gave you space to enter and watched you drift right through. I tried to shift the tempo, but the rhythm never lied. You kissed me like a promise, then forgot how to decide. I want to write a chorus that doesn't taste like loss, but every melody I fall in still carries the same cost. Same song, different ending, but the silence sounds the same. You love me in a pattern that never learned my name. Maybe next time I'll stay quiet and let my heart stop lending. Same song, different ending, still finds the same pretending. I built a version of you from glances and half smiles. Wove 100 little stories that could have stretched for miles. You never said I love you or even reached that far, but I painted us in sunsets and held you in the stars. You never knew the version that lived behind my eyes, the one that kissed me gently under watercolor skies. It was only in my head, but it still felt real. You were just a passerby, but became the way I heal. We never shared a secret or touched the words I said. Still I miss you, though you live only in my head. You probably never noticed how I watch the way you speak, how I memorized your laughter and dreamt of every week. I'd see you in a bookstore and pretend we were a tale of two hearts never spoken, but beating without fail. I know it wasn't true love, but it felt like something near. You gave me silent company without ever standing here. Only in my head, but I still felt the sting of loving someone quietly without asking for a thing. You'll never know you mattered in a dream I never said, but you softened all my winters only in my head. We share our dumbest stories, like secrets wrapped in gold. You know my favorite ice cream and my fears I never told. You text me when the sky turns that purple shade I love, and I pretend it means nothing, though it's more than I speak of. They say we're always laughing like we've got some private joke, but sometimes when I'm near you it gets a little hard to cope. 'Cause we're more than friends, though we never say it loud. It's in the way you lean in and how you disappear the crowd. I'd never risk the comfort, but I feel it in the bands. We're dancing in the maybe of more than friends. You've seen me at my lowest and stayed without a sound. You never ask for anything, but always stick around. I tell myself it's simple, we're better off this way, but your smile's a loaded question and my answer's tucked away. I'd rather keep you near me than speak and see you go, but sometimes I catch myself wishing you just know. We're more than friends, even if the words don't fall. I see the way you hold me when I'm barely there at all. Maybe this is safer than finding how it ends, but I ache inside the silence of more than friends. More than friends. We never argued loudly, but our silences grew long. You'd start a story laughing, but I'd miss where it belonged. You'd wake up just as I'd fall and drift when I got close. We danced in separate tempos in a song we couldn't host. It wasn't lack of caring or a love we didn't earn. We just moved in patterns that never got their turn. We were out of sync, like clocks in different rooms, always catching seconds just before the tune. We touched in half connection, in echoes not in link. We didn't fall apart, we just fell out of sync. I'd plan to say I love you, you'd talk about the news, and I'd nod like it was normal to miss so many clues. You'd reach for me at midnight, but I'd already drifted past. We try to keep it going, but nothing good will last. Not for lack of trying or hearts that weren't true. We were just misaligned in everything we do. We were out of sync, like hands that missed the beat. I saw you from a distance and didn't cross the street. You look like peace in motion, and I felt my own heartbeat. We said our last goodbye